Welcome to another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
Season 2.
The show we still haven't pitched to TV.
The podcast game show where two friends argue about the third's most burning and sometimes pointless questions in order to get a much-needed point in our season-long contest.
In some rounds, the two answerers don't always get to choose which side of an argument they're fighting for, which leads to some quick thinking and often has them mainly persuading themselves, but more importantly, the questioner to believe in what they say.
In other rounds, the answerers get a more open question where they can be far more creative with their choices, but they only get a short amount of time, and whatever they say first, they must stick with. No takebacks.
Our special round this season is reversal. The questioner will pose an open question, but the answerers will be choosing each other's answers. Ideally something they really hate or know very little about, which will lead to some very creative thinking.
That's the game.
Good job, dickhead. Right, boys, we're back. Episode 8
Yes.
of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild, Season 2. It's all gone a bit strange this time. We're actually recording at Dan's house for the first time ever. We largely record at my house. We've done a session at Kirk's, and now we're popping Dan's recording cherry. How you feeling about that, Dan?
A bit sore.
Bit sore. Kirk, how do you feel that we are sat mere meters away from the arsonist tortoise?
I know. The first thing I did when I came in the house, I went straight past them. Where are they?
Where are the flaming tortoises? Tortoise? Tortoises?
Tortoises.
Tortoises. Right. So, before we get into the game and we talk about how I am storming this, what can I say? I thought I'd like to just briefly talk about everyone's favourite madman billionaire. So I feel like we need like a segment because we talk about Elon Musk so much. So I'm calling this Minute of Musk.
Okay.
Or Musky Minute. You pick. Did you chaps hear the slightly sad news today?
Slightly sad news.
That slightly sad news you told me in the kitchen.
Yeah, I told you. Don't part the kimono like that. It's too early in the day. So, Kirk, for you, my friend, SpaceX did a rocket launch today.
Okay.
And it blew up. There's no one on board. It was just test flight.
Okay.
Just test flight, no dramas. But the best bit about it, and this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up, was SpaceX's statement afterwards. There's a really cool video online of watching it go. But SpaceX said, after a successful launch, it experienced an unintended disassembly.
Like it's an IKEA chair.
Yeah, and it's like disassembly is probably not. Oh, sorry, it was unscheduled disassembly. Yeah. And I was like, disassembly is not like disassembly. Almost makes it sound like it can go back together.
It's not the word.
No, but so I have decided the next time I have an emotional breakdown, it's not an emotional breakdown. It's in fact an unintended disassembly of my mental health.
Fair enough.
So there you go. That's the Musk Minute for today. Also, boys, we are. Do you know what today is? It's the weed day.
It's 420.
420.
Oh,
Yeah.
None of us.
No. But I just thought I'd mention it while we're recording because this is probably going to like. Based on when we're planning, like this will probably be like what, late June.
This is our Christmas special.
This will be late June by the time it comes to the people. So,
yeah,
you never know. We might have season 3 finished by Christmas as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. So happy weed day. Happy weed day.
Happy Weed Day.
Right.
Miracle Grow.
Yep. Episode 8. The scores. Chaps.
On the doors.
On les doors. Dan, what you on, baby?
6.
Kirk, what you on, buddy?
Tied for 6.
Oh, wait. So what am I on? Oh, that's right. I'm on fucking 9. Yeah, boys.
We just read it upside down.
Swish, swish. Suck my woolly.
Kirk, do you want to make a pact that we just delete? Just don't give him any points.
That's it.
We don't like this. We don't like this side of it.
No. I promise. I'll stop rubbing it in there. It's just I'm just excited. So, based on what we did last time, I believe that, Dan, you are kicking us off for episode 8 with our closed question.
Would you rather? Every time you laugh, you pee uncontrollably for 1 minute. Every time you laugh. 1 minute of peeing. Or every week, twice a week, you will randomly freeze for an hour. It won't happen while you're sleeping. The week starts on Monday, ends on Sunday. James, as you're in the lead, heads or tails?
Tails.
What's he getting if he gets tails?
He'll get P.
P for tails.
Yeah.
It is tails.
Okay.
P when you laugh, freeze.
He's for an hour a week.
Yeah.
Define laugh.
Twice a week for an hour. Could be any time. Apart from when you're asleep.
Define laugh.
If it's fake, it doesn't count. But if you genuinely find something funny and you start laughing.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is like a
Nah.
Okay.
Probably a belly laugh.
No, that's fine then. Yeah. I don't know, but do you ever play the game at school when you were kids? I am your friend, but I just can't smile at you.
No,
but I can get the premise from the title.
So the whole premise of this game from the title is like it was like you kind of go around the class almost. You'd be sat in a circle or something, like talking like reception year 1, and like the person either side of you, and then I would have to say, I am your friend, but I just can't smile at you, and then you'd have like 30 seconds to try and make me smile.
Okay.
Like, and you could do what you like other than obviously like tickling and I fucking won that game so much. Like if I'm really concentrating, I can be fucking poker face for days, mate.
Yeah,
So-
but that will require you to concentrate all the time.
Yeah.
What about the unexpected ones? Just come out of nowhere.
Then you just got to roll with it. don't you? Like, what about if I laugh for a minute and 1 second? Does it then give me
No.
a whole? Like, so just laugh at yourself as well. Just be like, yeah, bladder problems. Sorry, lads. Like, loads of people live with incontinence, right?
Anything, James, is the friends that we have.
Yeah.
Once they find this out about you, endless attempts at making you laugh.
100%.
Endless.
Adult nappies.
You can't watch memes.
No.
Yeah, I
At
mean,
least not in public. You
Yeah,
sit
no.
on the toilet.
I'll sit on the toilet while I'm scrolling TikTok. I already do that anyway, really.
I'd like to know where the urine comes from. Like after a while.
Like if I've just because if I've just been for a piss,
That's what I'm
like
saying.
I've just been for a piss, and then like someone makes me laugh, am I shooting dust?
Listen, we're in magic world here.
Okay.
Like,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You got to know this by now.
Endless amount of urine.
Nothing happens per chance.
Yeah. Now, so like I'm very much like I could be Stonewall if I wanted, but adult nappies, people live with it.
Okay, so the strong thing with mine is I would obviously tell everybody that I have this condition. Yeah, there'll be some sucky bits about it. I probably won't be able to drive. That'd be, pretty dangerous. However, if I'm in a really boring meeting and I don't want to be there and everyone knows about my condition, then off I go. Sorry, guys, I'm done.
You don't get to choose. Or you're just pretending.
Exactly. I will pretend. I'll do it as many times a week as I need to.
But so are you not telling whoever that it's limited to twice a week?
Yeah, I don't tell them that shit. Yeah, it happens twice a week, and sometimes it's genuine, and other times I'm like, "Oh, this meeting sucks."
Yeah.
And you can commit to that for an hour.
I'll just fall off the chair. On my
How
webcam.
fucking funny
Most things are online.
How fucking funny would it be?
I suppose you don't have to tell them it's an hour either, do you?
Yeah.
How fucking funny would it be? We're at a game day. Kirk's there as a sub. Right. Kirk, get in. And he goes, yeah, hey, down, set.
What, he just doesn't move the line.
And someone's going to fucking drag him off the field.
It'd be even worse if he was on defense. Just someone runs straight past him. He's just stood there.
Wouldn't be the first time, to be honest.
To be fair, because the week starts on a Monday, there's a good chance that the 2 times will happen before Saturday.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd also be shitting
By
yourself though, if
probability.
you'd only had the one.
Yeah, if you had
You
the
wake up on Saturday morning
and you haven't had
only
either.
one.
Well, that's a good point though, because then I know it's going to happen. If it's Sunday and it hasn't happened yet,
It's like
I'm
twice.
just going to
today.
write the day off and be like, okay, I know it's going to happen today.
2
Can it
hours.
happen like one after the other? So could you have 2 hours?
It could be. It's random.
No, that'd be a day to rejoice, wouldn't it?
Imagine
What's
your
his-
alarm goes off, you wake up and freeze, and you just can't turn your alarm off.
What's his state of consciousness?
He can see. He
So it's
can't
like
move his eyes, but he can see what's going on. in
so
front
it's
of him.
like
And hear.
full.
So I can still experience things.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to go to Alton Towers, spend all day on the best ride until I freeze and go, well, I can't get off now. And just keep going around. It's fantastic.
like man's on Oblivion. And they're like, right, sir, off you get.
We can't move him. Just keep him strapped in, boys.
Right, he's going for another one.
Freeze in the queue.
People are just walking around him.
You've just waited an hour for a 5-minute queue.
You definitely wouldn't be able to drive.
That's true. Yeah.
You would, but only after the 2.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Like
true.
what? So the police are going to pull him over and go, "Excuse me, sir, have you frozen twice this week yet?
Yeah, here's my frozen card.
Let it go. Let it go.
That's what we saying to the police. Just let it go, mate.
Let me go,
Let me go.
Police won't know.
sir. You froze and collided into a school.
See, now
I don't think.
if we're in the same room and I freeze, I think James is going to find that funny. So whenever my thing happens, so does his.
Basically,
You'll just pee on him.
basically,
Because he can't run away.
Oh no!
hope you like water sports, Kirk. I think what you've basically done is you've basically just said, what would you prefer to have when you're old?
Yeah.
Like
Muscle spasm.
basically, this is old folks' home, right? Either Kirk's going to be twice a week, he's going to be sat there in the old folks' home I'm going to be sat next to him. We're going to be watching a fucking documentary or something, and he's just going to go, and he's going to be stuck, and I'll be like, oh, Kirk's frozen again. And then like someone will make a racist joke because all old people are racist, and I'll be like, ha, oh. But in an old folks' home, it's okay because all the furniture's covered in plastic.
There's the answer. We'll just live in assisted living.
Nice.
So either's fine.
Solved.
That's fine. I mean, I'm really. We say it a lot on this show. Whenever we get something, we can always think of the bad things, and that's all I'm thinking right now is how bad is mine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how bad is his at the same time. I mean, you can't go to comedy shows. That's a given.
I don't really anyway.
But you
And I just wear a nappy.
just wear a nappy.
Everything. Wear a nappy. I wouldn't even need to go to the toilet for a shit then.
You could just like stand in a wheelie bin while we record the podcast.
Get fucking weird. Just imagine how frustrating it would be if you were like waiting for something. It was like, a moment of your life. Like, argument's sake, we've won the National Podcast Award or something like that. We've won Listener's Choice for UK Podcast Awards, which is a real thing, which you can vote for us in. We won't get many votes.
Get
but-
started early.
yeah. And that's it. And we're like, that's it. Ready? Oh, would a Panthers won? Fucking yes. And we stand up, me and Dan stand up. We're like high five and you're there. We're like fucking, and you're there and like, come on, Kirk, come on. We're going to go and accept our award. You should do it because you do all the editing. And you're just there.
Oh no, that would be awful.
Yeah.
But imagine if someone made you laugh on stage.
Nappy.
Nappy, just nappy. Now, one thing though,
Diaper.
I'm gonna attack this with a positive, which is I'm gonna turn it around. So those times you just really, I get it all the time. I just really struggle to pee sometimes. I know I need to go. It's like before bed or something. I know I should pee. I'm gonna struggle. You can just do a quick laugh to yourself, and then off you go. However, how unsatisfying will a pee become really quickly if you just wake up every day and go ha 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 go, and then get on with your life?
I've got to be perfectly honest. I feel like there's better pleasures in life than going for a piss.
There is, but sometimes
Like, if
if
that's
you've been
the case-
holding it for a while,
Yeah, but I wouldn't need to worry about that. I'll just have a wank.
God's sake.
Kurt's potentially wheelchair bound from it, like in a sense, because anywhere he goes, he's at risk.
I like the idea that he defies physics when he freezes.
What do you mean?
So like if he's mid jump, he just stays there. Like he doesn't have to worry about like falling over or anything.
No, I don't think he'd fall over, but I think he'd be fully like,
I tell you what, I'd be terrified to cross the road.
yeah, 100%.
Underpasses only. Working out ways I can do that.
Even like so
You
you
just
got
really psych yourself up. Like here we go.
so here's something: you got no car.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to use public transport.
Yeah.
You're on
Stuck on a bus.
you're on the bus. You're on the train. Like you're on the tube in London. We've
You're
all
about
been-
to step off at your stop. Oh no!
and you're stuck there for an hour. You're just carrying on right. And on the tube, if you go through a different zone, it'll charge you more as well.
Yeah.
So if you end up stuck in if you've gone from like fucking Kensington to Alabama, they'll charge you.
I'd like to see him try and charge me if I'm frozen, though.
Well, you still be on the train.
Yeah. But if I do a full loop, how are they going to know if I've gone through?
Well, no, because by the
that's
time,
true.
there's no guarantee that you could have been on it for an hour. You're late for work, and now you've got to.
Yeah, I'm late for work, but they're not. If I still
You
got
don't have to. You don't have to get out. At
yeah,
the,
if I get off at the right
wrong-
station,
yeah.
no one's going to know.
What about the bus? The bus drivers will kick you out.
Yeah, they will. They need to go on a break.
and
Not
if
if
you're
he's frozen.
and if you're on like a National Express,
He can't be moved.
if you're on like a train, if the train terminates, like if you're like, I'm going from Coventry to Birmingham, oh, this train terminates at Euston, and you end up fucking at Euston, and there's like just the trains, all the lights have been turned off, and it's parked up in a fucking store. Like, oh well, we can't move him. We can go back to Birmingham in the morning. And then you find out that carriage is going to Scotland. I think yes. Yes, not being able to.
I think yes.
I think yes, not being able to laugh without peeing would be an inconvenience, but it's not potentially life threatening.
Mm.
Whereas freezing in the middle of crossing the street, being stuck on public transport, so you end up somewhere that you have no idea where you're supposed to be or where you are. I mean, what happens if there's a fucking emergency, like fire, like at work? There's a fire.
Crispy.
What happens if Dan's tortoise set fire to the house right now
And I'm frozen.
and you froze?
We'd have to wheel it. Oh, there's no wheels on that chair.
There you go.
You have to carry me, I guess. And you'll find it really funny and probably pee your way out the door.
I'll put the fire out.
You can put the
Just
fire
make me
out.
laugh.
You could join his radiator.
I truly, truly believe Kirk is fucked.
To be honest, his one comes under like a
Mild
thing you can control.
inconvenience.
Yeah, and it's like a just don't laugh.
Yeah.
Mine is just random. Like there's no.
This is just
comparable
like his
thing there.
question. Now, he had this question last season, didn't he? Where it was like, I got the one that was like, you just randomly go limp.
Yeah,
And then you,
mine was the floor thing, right?
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
that question?
You're
Yeah.
just deaf and mute. No, mute.
And it
I
was
was
like,
mute, yeah.
and it's like, we've got it on the other way around now. It's like, I've got the mild inconvenience. You've got the life threatening condition.
Yeah. So we're 1 for 1, really.
It's all in the flip of the coin. So I've kind of made my decision.
Go on then.
So at first I kind of wanted to make it based on what I would have.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I had more fun talking about Kirk's one.
Oh, collusion.
So I don't know how I want to like swing it.
I mean, I would stand by your question was, would you rather?
Okay, yeah, no, that is fair.
He actually said the words, would you rather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would probably rather, based on our discussion, pee myself.
Fair enough.
Does that mean I get the
You
point?
do get the point.
Woo! Fantastic news.
You just got the coin was not on your
the
side.
coin was not in your
No.
favour.
It was not.
So at the end of round one, that's 10 points for me and 6 for you two. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, collusion.
Hey, you never shook on it. You can shake on it now if you like.
But now one of you has to get a step closer because
Yeah.
it's my question.
Yeah, one of us gets to pull ahead.
Right. Oh, this could be quite an interesting one. Chaps, gentlemen, I want you to do your best to convince me of a conspiracy theory. It can be a real one, or you can make up your own. I don't know. But I want the person who gets the point will be the most convincing conspiracy.
Pigeons and seagulls are in a constant turf war.
Okay. So your conspiracy theory is that there is an ongoing war between pigeons and seagulls over territory.
Yeah.
Kirk, do you have one?
How did you get yours so quickly?
So while Kirk's thinking, we'll go on a sidebar, Dan.
Yeah.
I've got a follow-up question for you that just it was somebody commented it to me on Reddit when I asked like any questions. And I thought it doesn't really fit our format, but you've just like proper made it click for me. How many pigeons or seagulls would have to turn up at your house daily before you start to suspect somebody was putting them there on purpose?
That's a good question, because I saw like 8 out there the other day. If it was seagulls, it'd be about 3, because I never see them.
Seagulls are really common around here, even though we're far from
Yeah, but they never come like
to
the house, like into the garden. Whereas pigeons, you have like 2 or 3 in the garden at once. So maybe like 20 odd pigeons would. I have less than that, 15-ish. I think.
So you're saying if you like looked out your window one day and went 15 pigeons, that's a lot of pigeons.
I don't know. I'd probably start assuming that someone had got a bunch of pet pigeons, because on the the back garden neighbours to my grandparents have a shed full of pigeons.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do, but when I was growing up and whenever I was there, they'd let them all out and they'd just fly circles around like the block of houses.
Yeah.
And they'd all land on a roof somewhere, and then about 10, 15 minutes later, they'd all go back in the shed. And I just remember there was loads of them, like good 40 odd pigeons. So I could have. I'd probably end up. It'd probably be a lot more than 20. I
just see Dad like looking at that's a fucking lot of pigeons. The next day he's like, same amount of pigeons.
Yeah, if they all started landing in my garden, it'd probably take.
Like just imagine them sitting on your washing line.
Well, yeah, I'll start to wonder. Maybe it's all
right. Well, I tell you what.
10.
I tell you what. Audience, go to our website and use the submit a question page to tell us how many pigeons or seagulls would need to appear in your home daily before you start to get suspicious.
I mean, it's 3 seagulls and more than 10 pigeons. Like if it was just 10, I'd be kind of like, well, there were 8, 2 more. What's that? So then consistently more than that, I'd be like, well.
So, Kurt, do you have a conspiracy theory for us?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your conspiracy theory?
I think that colors are not factual; they're subjective.
Okay. So, I feel like Kirk, as you've taken a bit longer to think of it, I want you to kind of start for me. So
sure. So I think with human nature, obviously we have differences, but a lot of the things we do are very much the same. So the fact that we have different favorite colors says to me that actually I think we all like the same color if it was put in the same place on a neutral playing field. But I think that we see colors differently. For some of us, it's shades we see differently. For others, I think it's complete opposites.
So say, for example, when somebody thinks that they have a red car when it's clearly orange.
No.
Is that
shout out previous guest
that's
member.
color blindness.
Okay, so
but we would never know, because if someone says this is red, and in their world it is red, and in our world it is red.
Yeah, so you're kind of going along the lines of like the color that I see when I see green might not, although we both call it green.
Yep.
We might like, for example, my green might be your red.
Yes. And I think I can back this up as well, because those that suffer from synesthesia, they often say different colors for different notes and chords and sounds. Why is that if it's the same condition?
Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting. So, Dan,
That is very interesting.
opening statement.
Pigeons and seagulls, right?
Yeah.
In a constant battle for territory. Pigeons predominantly are seen in a city.
Yep.
Whereas seagulls are more outer fields and at the beach. They want a bit of each other's territory. Seagulls are jealous of the pigeons' food, while the pigeons are jealous
of
of
the ocean and the fucking of the seaside.
yeah, they want a bit of sun. So
And why the fuck are they in Coventry?
I just see these pigeons sat on top of a fucking.
well, that's their home. That's their territory. Within the pigeon community as well. There's like separate gangs of mafia.
I've just got this image of pigeons sat on top of like skyscrapers, going, "Fucking look at them with their fucking piers and their fucking boats."
Fish and chips.
Do you know how much I'd fucking kill just to go for a paddle in the ocean?
Yeah. Crows are mercenaries, so they get paid off by whoever's the highest bidder.
So what are the magpies?
Bandits. They'll just roll by the side. Yeah.
So are the pigeons like the kind of urban warfare specialists?
Yeah.
And the seagulls
So-
are like the Navy SEALs?
Yeah, so the
Navy seagulls?
pigeons are a lot more like agile, and they can go through like more
Yeah.
spaces and they
Close quarters.
close quarters. Whereas seagulls are like the bombers.
Yeah. Yes.
in
Sweating TIE
many ways.
fighters right now.
Yeah, so it's like a pigeon's like an X-wing flying through the trench.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't
then-
thinking Star Wars, but kind of it was more like the pigeons are like Spitfires.
And then like
the seagulls
B-52.
are like yeah. And
So
they're,
is that why whenever you go to the beach and the seagulls start, you just hear da 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 da?
yeah, pretty much.
I feel they sound like TIE fighters. Going down the beach.
Yeah, exactly. And like you go up to like Hersal Common every week or so, there'll be either loads of seagulls or loads of pigeons.
Ah, yes.
Whoever's won the battle most recently.
So is there like various battlegrounds?
It's not wrong.
Is there like various battlegrounds? So like
Yeah, they fight for territories.
obviously they're not as advanced as humans. So if you go back like to when we were like less advanced,
Yeah.
we had battlefields, didn't we?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the Battle of Hastings, like the Battle of Kirk.
Yeah. So whoever's occupying Hersal Common is owns Elsden.
We're just tagging it.
And then like if you go to like War Memorial.
Why have I just got this image of like the fucking pigeons all stood in a line with one of them with half blue on his face going, they might take the common, but they'll never take our freedom.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there's something going on out there.
So the thing is, Dan, is I'm so here's what I'm going to go with first. Kirk.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
I agree.
I believe that you're probably onto something. I also don't believe you invented that because I've heard it before, and I never said that you had to invent something. But yeah, it's interesting, and we will come back to it.
Okay.
Dan, I've never heard it, but it makes so much fucking sense.
Listen.
Did you make that up?
Yeah.
Okay. So, pause for time.
If you want a bit of honesty, me and Lauren made it up.
Okay. Okay. So, Kirk,
Yes, James.
what evidence do you have to show? Because Dan's just provided us with evidence using Hersal Common as the battleground.
Historical evidence.
Like the Battle of Hersal Common.
Yeah.
For bi-weekly.
For those who are not from Coventry, Hersal Common is literally a field.
No, it's a piece of common ground. It's like just
it's a field.
a pile of grass in the middle of a city. Yeah. Like you couldn't justify calling it a park.
No.
In fact, I was kind of going with the whole synesthesia is my evidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
The idea that someone says E minor is blue, but someone else says E minor is red, I believe that is the same color.
Okay. What color do you think E minor is?
Purple.
Mr. Compromise.
No, I don't.
So with that condition, I have heard of it, but I'm not up to speed. Do the colors complement the notes in the same way that you would have, like, say, a a key where like if you're playing in G that you've got to use certain notes. I can't remember off the top of my head, but like C. If you're in C,
on a basic principle, yes.
If you're in C, then you use like G, D, and A.
Yeah. Well, yeah, CEG.
Yeah, CEG. Sorry. Yeah, I'm confusing myself because I'm not really a musician.
Does it work the same way as like you imagine? Like, so I think I've spoken to Lauren about this, but where you think of like a school subject and it like you think of a color to do with it.
No, not.
Is it similar to that?
Not really.
Like I associate like blue with maths and green, and green with science.
Maybe on the same kind of.
I have a question for you on that. Is that because of the color of your exercise book at school?
Because I had different colored ones.
See,
if I was to like that was just from now, like being like maths is blue, science is green, history is yellow to me.
See, I always thought history was yellow, like
is green.
Because I always remember having a yellow, like yellow. I don't think I had a yellow exercise book every year, but I distinctly remember a yellow.
I remember having a yellow exercise book, but I don't think it was history. I think I had purple for history.
Oh, I had purple for RE.
The only one I remember,
RE is purple to me.
The only definitive one I remember is red for English, and I associate red with English. Or English with red.
See, I had it the other way around: blue for English, red for maths. Anyway,
I guess on a similar vein to that, in a way that is personal in some way. But obviously, Ian, who you know, and you've met him before as well, he has synesthesia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I know another girl as well who has synesthesia, and the way they describe it is very different, but achieves the same thing. Some people see little flashes. Some people see little sparks. Some people imagine the world around them just shaded slightly in that color.
So it's not like the holophone from.
So they've just got like a filter over them.
Kind of.
Change the hue and saturation.
Kind of. There's some kind of filter there that, and even shades, like certain keys one might be a darker blue, one might be a lighter blue on a different note. But yeah, but the fact that certain notes trigger certain things and they're different colors for other people just says to me they're seeing the same color. It's just they're calling it a different name.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. How common is that? Synesthesia.
I did know the fact.
And how can you prove that they have it?
Because they usually have perfect pitch.
Okay.
So if someone says,
"Don't you have perfect pitch?"
Yeah, kind of. But I've really worked at it. Like it's every day singing the same note over and over again till I get it and it goes in. But with people like Ian, because we went to university together, and I think our lecturer just like played like a really complicated chord one day, and Ian just said what it was, because he saw on a basic level colors that sort of lined up with that chord, and it was like an insane diminished extra note chord that no one could guess unless you were like super perfect pitch. So there definitely is proof there.
I hate those kind of chords because they don't go with anything. Like, have you ever had like someone's like, "Oh, I'm going to play a G flat seventh diminished," and you're like, and you're like, "That sounds shit."
It's all in context. It's usually a passing chord.
It's literally someone's like, do 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 do. Fuck off.
But for some people, that is a color, and the point I'm trying to make is, I think it's the same color as someone else would see.
It's brown.
Brown notes.
Is that where brown note comes from?
But also, I'd like to think as well, like behind. We're going there again, guys. Nazis, right? They went for red. Okay. No, this isn't. They went for red as their armband color. Because it contrasts with a lot of colors. It's really aggressive, but I think everyone's red is different, and I think we have a different aggressive color.
Well, there was a scientific research that did if you're on the red team, you're more likely to win.
Really?
If it's only if it's like sport or like fighting games or anything like that. Whereas if it's like doing puzzles and strategic stuff, it's blue.
Well, it's a bit like, have you seen those things where it's like, what kind of learner are you? And it's like, are you a red learner or a green learner or a blue learner? And it's like blue people tend to be more creative and red people tend to be more like factual and like it's all just categorization, but it's very interesting that people pick those, in that way. Yeah, it's interesting because, as you say, red is largely associated with aggression, blue with calm, and then like green is positivity.
But how interesting would it be is if science could allow you to look through someone else's eyes and you saw that their red was actually purple?
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. See, it's interesting because I guess the thing comes down to where does that happen? Because obviously in terms of color is defined by a wavelength, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's within visible light, and it's a particular section of visible light.
Yeah.
So is it just that our brain fucks it up differently?
Yeah, it'd be how you perceive it.
Interesting.
Because like they'd all still like, so my wall would still reflect that light.
Yeah.
But the way our brains perceive it would be different from each other.
And that is interesting because obviously that does take into account people's like subtle differences in some cases where it's like, oh yeah, I really like that color. No, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Versus like I guess the other thing though is like
everyone has the same favorite color basically.
We get taught.
They just look different.
No, but we get taught like
they look the same, but we call them different.
Yeah.
We get taught that like colors complement each other, don't we? Like, people think
Yeah. You look at a hue wheel. Yeah.
yeah, like, purple and pink or whatever, and then people go, yes, those two colors.
Yeah. But I'm saying that relativity stays, and
I'm a graphic designer.
Scientifically it's still there. It's just other people are shifting different parts of that wheel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
Dan, do you want to give us some more detail on the turf war before we go into
what colour are your seagulls?
Who knows?
Before we go into
Red.
into the final the final decision?
Have you seen, this goes into the mafia part of the pigeons.
Right.
Have you seen, the Coventry Market?
Yeah.
There's a,
All kinds of everything.
if you're walking past,
Something for everyone.
if you're walking from IKEA, past where Iceland was,
Yeah.
And you've got like the ramp up into it.
Yeah.
If you look above that ramp, there's like a pigeon that's dead on one of the spikes, and he's kind of sprayed out like this, so it looks like he's been like mounted to the wall.
Oh no!
Like,
it's a warning.
And there's a little hole underneath him, and it's almost like a threat. It's like if you like deceive them. That's why pigeons have no feet. If they get into debt with the mafia, they chop the toes off. You lose a finger.
Right. Okay.
So
Right.
don't get in debt to the mafia bosses. If you're a pigeon. There's a war out there.
Right.
And the mafia pigeons are profiting off of it.
Right. I just got this image of them like trying to sell illicit birds. Like, how mafiosos are like,
You want to buy some mealworms? Just the Godfather pigeon sitting there on a pile of...
If they control the town, why do they fly into windows?
They've got to keep up the illusion.
the magpies must be police, right?
No.
Because they're black and
thieves.
white.
They're thieves.
Yeah, the thieves.
So who are the police?
No, it's chaos.
It's chaos.
Anarchy.
Is it not falcons? Or like,
Buzzards, yeah.
like the birds that hunt.
Yeah,
buzzards.
wardens. They're the wardens. They're
They're
like
just like fucking swooping in. Like,
kites, and they stay away from the city because they're being paid off by the pigeons.
yeah.
It's like an eagle, a sergeant, and
Yeah.
then it goes down from there.
Yeah.
Right.
Chief Inspector.
And you got like falcons, quick response units.
The geese and the dogs.
Right. Okay.
Ostriches are heavy artillery.
This is a great game.
Bird
Right.
Wars.
So
Bird Wars coming soon.
yeah, if anybody wants to get in touch, if anybody wants to get in touch who has some video game development and would like to partner with us on on Grand Theft Avian.
There's the title of the podcast. Grand Theft Avian.
We are willing to license that if needed. Right. I think, chaps, I am going to give it to Dan. You both did really well. Kirk, I really liked yours. And you know what? I actually believe it. And almost it was like a little bit of a downside for you.
Yeah.
It was less of a conspiracy.
It was less of a it didn't seem too
I guess, yeah.
Whereas
I was influenced by all the colours of this washing over here.
like Dan just spat it out and I was like, I was like, what? And then I was like, my mind's been blown, and now I'm ready to get the fucking tinfoil hat out.
Listen, everyone, just keep an eye on the birds. You'll see.
Never suspected.
Watch their behaviour.
Watch
Never suspect a pigeon.
Watch Birdemic.
Yeah.
Right.
Well done, Dan. It was good. I really enjoyed that.
So at the end of round 2, I am on 10. Dan has jumped into second place with 7, and Kirk is on 6.
I can't do anything about it now.
Okay, so a big thanks to our sponsors for Season 2 of Wood Panther Killer Raccoon in the Wild, Manuka Farm. They provide a wide range of honey-infused CBD products that help manage pain, anxiety, and sleep. And by using the code PANTHER10, you can take 10% off your first order across the site.
If you're like me and you're struggling with your sleep a bit, for me, what's working best is the oil gummies and the sleep spray.
I've not tried the sleep spray.
Yeah, and the oil is really tastes good. Tastes like honey. You wouldn't know that there's CBD in it. The gummies have got a bit of a twinge, but I still really like them because they taste like honey. Also, their skincare stuff is really good. I've been using it. It's top notch.
Nice.
And if CBD isn't your thing, well, they do just sell honey as it is. So that's Panther 10, PANTHER 10 for 10% off at manukafarm.co.uk. That's Manuka, MANUKA, farm, PHARM.co.uk. Every time the Panther 10 code is used, we look really good. We don't get any money for it, or it's not an affiliate link, but it really helps us in terms of growing our podcast, and it really helps Manuka Farm grow their business. So it's a win-win for everyone.
And you help yourself out with your pain, anxiety, and sleep.
Yeah, give it a go. Tell them your boys sent you.
And thanks to Manuka Farm for sponsoring us.
Right, so question 3, reversal.
Reversal.
Wubba wubba.
If you're only just tuning into the season now, where have you been? Right?
Go back and listen.
Go back and listen to them.
We're not explaining it.
It'll help.
We're not explaining it to you, you cretin.
Can I just make a point about that? It's like when I've been telling newer people about the podcast, I've been like, oh yeah, it's really good, but you have to get through like the first 2 episodes of you have to watch it in line. Just be prepared for our awkward cringiness at the start.
Yeah.
But you
that's
can't just any TV show.
You can't just dive in. You don't know what's going on.
That's the issue. Do you know what? One day, maybe we should do it between season 2 and season 3. We'll go back and we'll remaster. We'll like get a transcript and we'll do like
re-say it all.
But we'll like crop out some of the shit.
Nah, we got to leave it.
Or we can just make like a greatest hits, like a condensed version.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, do like a top 10.
Yeah. Like season 1 explained.
Season 10.
Season 1 in 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to have to choose an item for the other person. And
oh yeah, I forgot.
All I'm going to say for this first part of the question is you have to hold an item through a series of challenges.
This is really similar to my reversal question for next episode.
You have to hold it.
You have to hold this item through a series of challenges.
Does it have to be like
inanimate?
No, it can be anything. And
can you put like an effect on it? For example, if you pick like an electronic device, it has to be on.
Oh, I see.
Which is less than what I was thinking.
No, I'm gonna be. Do you know what? I'll let you go crazy. Do what you want.
Nice.
Do what you want with it.
Oh god.
Don't make it like super impossible, but make it fun. But yeah, do it. I'm not gonna. There's no rules.
Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
You're gonna have a wet slice of bread.
Oh, okay. That
never dries.
You're gonna have. Is
that good?
You're gonna have a fully alive and very scared jellyfish.
What kind of jellyfish?
Can I have gloves?
What type of jellyfish?
A Portuguese man o' war.
Oh Jesus Lord! Bro, you're dead.
So I have the death jelly, and you have wet bread.
Well, I was going to go with one of those. What are they? Blue ring octopuses? And I was like, no, because you could probably just be like, I'm going to be really nice to it.
Do I get prep time? Can I put some gloves on?
So you have 5 challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we've touched on what we have. Dan has a man of war jellyfish.
It's one of them. Can I
wear it as a hat?
No.
Am I immune to dying?
The challenge is not to eat it. James has a slice of wet bread.
That never dries.
It never dries.
And it doesn't deteriorate. It's just
Okay.
like wet, like
The first challenge is easy.
constant.
First challenge is easy. You should be all right. You got to throw it up. It must rotate a full 360. And
Easy. We both could do that.
Right, okay.
you must throw it out of the hand in an upwards motion.
Yeah.
It must rotate a full 360 and land back on your hand. Not like you can't just like move your hand. It has to land perfectly in it without moving.
So I have
it's
to
gotta be an
bottle flip a jellyfish.
kind of.
Do you know what? Do you know
It's
how?
got to land in your hand like this. You can't move your hand. It's got to land in the same
Do you know
place.
how big those jellyfish are? He's going to break his arm, let alone the sting. I mean, yeah, I think I could do that. I think it'd just be like palming a basketball, right? It'd
Yeah, I think yours is fairly easy. Yeah.
So what I do is I die.
For the sake of this, I'm gonna say the manual hurts, but
It
doesn't
hurts,
kill
but it doesn't kill
Yeah.
me. I'd be in lots of pain.
you. You would.
I'd be screaming whilst eating a jellyfish. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
By the tentacle. Can I hold it by the tentacle?
Yeah, sure.
And if I'm going to be in pain anyway, might as well go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, you get some good leverage on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's the way I'd probably do it as well with the bread. Is just kind of hold it by one end and like,
Let it flip.
Yeah.
Easy.
Throw it like a card.
yeah.
Very fast. The second one is you must use it as a ruler. And I don't mean to measure something, I mean to draw a perfectly straight line.
I think that's
Wet bread is floppy.
it's floppy, but there's got to be like
You know what else is floppy?
there's crusts.
There are crusts, there are straightish edges.
Yeah, so
Can we establish a size for my jellyfish?
It
2 foot?
it fits in one hand.
So
It's a one-handed.
it's a baby one.
Yeah.
Just like a basketball.
Yeah, maybe like this. Yeah, okay, yeah.
All right.
Basketball size.
Well, what I'd do is I'd hold the jelly bit tight with my fingers, and then I'd put it on the floor where I'm going to draw my line. I'd stamp on the tentacles.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Give it a good old stretch, and draw my line,
Nice, yeah.
See, if I was Dan,
and then measure it with batteries.
if I was Dan, I'd have drawn the straight line in the sand with the jellyfish.
No, you're
not using it as a ruler.
You've got to use it to provide you a straight
Yeah,
line.
okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, once again, crust is my friend.
Yeah.
Yes, it's soggy.
Crust is my friend.
Like,
Any pressure you put against it, though.
yeah, but it's like
If my
I'm an-
tentacles are tight like a guitar string,
I'm an engineer. I got that finesse.
gentle.
As long as the line has to be the length of a slice of bread.
Easy.
I'll also just reiterate, you have to hold an item through a series of times. So you have to hold it in your hand, okay? Just for this next one. You must carry a large, heavy office chair up a flight of stairs while holding your item.
Jellyfish are pretty malleable.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
You sort of just
Just kind of clamp it between my hand and the
Yeah.
chair.
Yeah, I think for me, it
Does
would
this
just
one count that I'm sat on? Because I brought this
yeah,
downstairs.
sure.
I held it by the bottom,
Okay.
that bit. So I just hold it with one hand.
Yeah.
And then have the jellyfish like in the other hand cupped over where I held it on here.
Yeah, it's still in your hand.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't even do that. I've got a bad back. I have to lift properly. But what I'd do is I'd take the arm of the chair and I'd palm the fucking wet bread and just.
He'd essentially be doing what I'm doing. It'd just be a lot easier.
I just like.
But it'd be slippery.
It might be slippery. It might be mushy and horrible, and there may be some bready residue, some breadadue on the end of the
So crumbs. It's breadadue, isn't it?
breadadue.
You're doing well. You're doing really well. The next one is you must pour some lemonade into a glass with no table to help. So it's only you, right? You're just standing in an empty room. You got to pour lemonade from a 2-liter bottle into a glass
So
while holding your.
So I've got a glass in one hand.
Yep.
And
You
there's
gotta
some
pour a 2
lemonade.
litre bottle
There's
of
lemonade floating in front of me because there's no table.
You've been given the lemonade, and then you've been told to walk into the middle of the room.
Okay, so I've got lemonade under my arm like this.
Okay.
For the viewers watching
Yep.
on TV.
Yep.
I would place the glass in the jellyfish.
Nice. Yeah.
See, we're thinking along the same lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say I will take the large end of the glass and cut out.
Yeah. That's what
Cut-
that's essentially what I'm doing.
Nice.
And then ramming it into the jellyfish. And then you just unscrew.
Nice. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I don't even take the glass off the stick because I'm smug about it.
It's almost like you've both gone for squishy things. Like, so before I say this last one, my thinking was someone was going to say something like hand grenade. Like you have to hold a hand grenade, so if you let go and you could pull the pin. Something
You've
like
done it
that,
again.
right?
You're like, oh, someone's going to say this. No, we're not.
No. That's okay.
Ruin his question.
No. It's not ruined at all. And the reason I was laughing a minute ago is for this final question. Okay. Now the grenade would be easy with this, right? That's what I'm saying. But you, okay, you must kill a duck with your item.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, admittedly,
Yeah.
easier for you until plot twist. I'll choke that fucking duck.
With the bread.
Yeah, because like you have to rip up pieces of bread for him. I'll literally just pick that duck up and ram that whole slice down his fucking throat. And it'll be like,
But have you ever seen me running around with a jellyfish in my hands, swinging it like a medieval flail,
This is also good.
and just swiping a duck out of the air?
I'd like to see the life go out of the duck's eyes.
I'd like to see how far I can hit it.
And I'll make sure his duck friends are watching so they know never to go to that old man in the park again.
They're both really funny.
Yeah, home run.
Okay, that's all my questions. Now I've got to try and pick a winner out of that. So I'm thinking about the item you chose in the first place. James, creative with a Manoir jellyfish. Just give him the most deadly thing in the sea. Let's just give him that. I like that.
Because, like, technically, I'd have won this whole time because Dan would just be dead.
That's what I said at the start.
Yeah. But I did say don't make it impossible as well.
Well, you could hold the top.
Let's not forget I'd be screaming the whole time.
Yeah. Towards the fucking duck.
Chris Dan gave James wet bread. And all I was saying this whole time was, I can't wait for the duck question. So it's what you feed ducks. I like the measurement one. I did like that, how you managed to use tension. You're going to get a perfectly straight line that way. Hard to get tension out of a soggy bit of bread. Yeah.
Don't need two crusts.
Because there are crusts.
They're
They're
wet.
soggy crusts.
They're wet as well.
There are crusts.
We can go to the kitchen right now and soak a piece of bread.
all over again.
This is the last time this happened.
I'm telling you, the crusts will stay intact for me to draw a line.
We can go to the ocean right now.
Get me a jellyfish. You've got an aquarium over there. You'll be all
Can I
right.
just use one of them fish? Put a little wig on it.
You both did the same thing for the office chair and the lemonade. That was interesting.
Just anyone walks in on you, cut a hole in a piece of bread.
I've got to pour the lemonade.
This one's actually really difficult. I want to say James for comedy reasons, but I am going to say Dan because
okay.
he did turn a deadly jellyfish situation and managed to do something with it. So
No.
I'll give that to Dan.
No,
Yep.
100%. I really thought that because me and Dan were looking at each other and we're like, you go first or I go. And like, I think we both thought we were thinking along the same lines. And I was like, I'm going to make this fucking impossible. And he was like, I'm going to make this useless.
That's why reversal rounds are great.
Right. Okay. So at the end of episode 8, we've got Kirk.
I'm still on 6.
Oh, rough day at the office. Dan.
8?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm on 10. First person to hit the 1-0 this
Yeah,
season.
well done.
So,
That's a nice sequence, 6, 8, 10. I like that. Let's end it there.
God damn it. So, the question is, what's going to happen next time?
Well, I've got a question written down, so I will announce it in the next episode.
Right. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for listening. As always, I've been Thick Jim.
I've been Captain Kirk.
And I've been Smokey D.
And I've been Smokey D.
I've been Smokey D.
And I've been Captain Kirk.
And I've been Captain Kirk.
I've been Thick Jim.
And I've been losing my mind.
And I've been really trying.
How did we get here?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.